Bob Maloney from MyMMAnews.com, and I'm talking to George Magin. George has a fight coming up at CFFC. This is the first time I got to talk to George. George, it's fight week. I'm glad to see you smiling, which means you're probably not cutting a ton of weight. How you feeling? How's the body feeling? Have you been able to stay away from these nagging injuries that a lot of times you get in camp?
Yeah, so I'm injury free, thankfully. It was a pretty tough camp. The cut is going well. We're right in the middle of it. So just have to cut off the last few pounds of water. All the dieting's been done, and I'm just ready to go.
Well, listen, you and I, this is the first time you've really done any media with me. And, I did some scoping on your page. I seen that, you used to have a wrestling background. Was that the transition for you from to get into mixed martial arts? You went from wrestling to mixed martial arts. Tell me a little bit about, your path to get you where you are now, fighting in a camp, getting ready to go into a cage.
Yeah, so I grew up watching UFC with all my friends. Even when I was little, we would watch all the UFCs, and I did karate from the time I was 4 until I was 15. So I was always interested in like the striking and karate and the Muay Thai aspect of it. And then, yeah, I transitioned to wrestling so I could play sport in college. I did that for 1 year, and then I decided that it was about time to actually do it myself.
Awesome. So talk to me about, you're at Stout training over there in, the Pittsburgh area. Talk to me about your coaches a little bit, some of your training partners, what's going on with this camp to, get you ready. How many fights have you had so far, Geoff?
So I've had 2 fights. My first one was in November, and then the last one was March.
Okay.
And this coaching staff is highly, highly underrated. They go under the radar. Um, big time camps come in every now and then, and they kind of sign off on what our coaches are doing. Like our coaches are, they're like an elite coaching staff, I would say. It doesn't get any better than this. So you see guys from all around the Pittsburgh area, West Virginia, Ohio. They're coming in to train with the Stout guys and get coaching from our coaches, which is pretty crazy that it's just 20 minutes away from me.
Now, listen, Geoff, most of the time, this is just, I don't mean the stereotype, but a lot of times a wrestler comes in early in his career, especially, and, they feel comfortable in, they can out wrestle their opponents many of the times. This is early in your career.
Mm-hmm.
Do you guys, since this is the amateurs and you obviously nobody ever wants to lose, but do you go into a fight saying, I really need to concentrate on working my stand up. We know that I can wrestle. How do you guys approach it as far as a game plan this early in your career where there's not a lot of film on either of you?
Basically, the plan is to just finish the fight, however it goes. The rounds are so fast, you can really just sprint through them. It's 2-minute rounds, so the conditioning isn't really that big of a factor. The plan is just to fight the hardest opponents and get feedback on what I'm doing right and wrong to improve.
Tell me
But
who your
finishing,
tell me who your opponent is and how this fight's going to go.
my opponent is a wrestler out of New Jersey, and this fight is going to go the same as my past 2 fights. I'm going to knock him out.
Awesome. You know what? I talked to your teammate earlier, Ty Harris. You guys are both 2-0, so you guys are both, in camp at the same time. That's got to be a great thing. Once again, I'm with Geoff Magin. Geoff, give some love out, some shout outs to whoever you want, whether it's training partners, somebody who's, going to be there buying tickets, rooting for your arm to get raised. If you have any sponsors, say some thank yous right now.
Yeah, definitely. I want to thank all my coaches, Coach Will, Coach Chris, Coach Mike, and Coach Warren. Um, they've been super supportive since I got the Stout. I want to thank everyone back home who's bought tickets or buying the pay-per-view to watch me. And I also want to shout out to my sponsor, Mandarkova State. They're my first sponsor, so I'm really psyched about that. And make sure you check them out.
Hopefully the first of many, Geoff. It was a pleasure talking to you for the first time. Let's chat again. Best of skills and luck to you. I hope you get out of this fight uninjured and you're back in there doing your thing again. It was a pleasure meeting you for the first time, and I look forward to following your career and doing a bunch of stories on you, man. It was a pleasure talking to you.
Thank you. Thanks for having me. I appreciate it.
You got it, Geoff.